Hey everybody, welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole. Today is the 1st of March and we are here for a crafting vlog. It's a slow stitching Saturday, so let's get started. Good morning or good evening everybody, welcome back. We are doing a slow stitching Saturday. It's been a hot minute since I've done one just dedicated to slow stitching. We're going to be working on the Birdsville cushion. I'm going to do a little bit of cutting out today. I am excited because I'm going to be cutting out the birds today to put on the cushion. I will open that up in a little bit, but this is what the project is that I'm working on. This is the wool felt that I have. I have got a little bit of a mess happening in my little box here. I've also got some freezer paper because I use that method to put everything down. And yeah, so I'm going to continue on with this. If you've been around for a while, you know all about this project. You've seen it before. And yeah, so let me just get all this stuff out of the way. I need a pen or a pencil. Just get rid of that box because I know me, I will end up knocking that over. So yeah, so I've got little bits and pieces here of everything I need. I just have to grab my floss because I'm pretty sure that we're going to end up stitching some stuff down, probably just leaves and stuff, but I'll go and grab my floss. Have a little container with all the colours that I'm using, so I've got that there now. The other thing I need to check to make sure that I've got a needle threader, which yes I do, in that little container. And I've got a hot mess happening here, so I just put everything in there last time. But as I said, I am going to be putting the birds on. So we've got, let me just have a look, we've got the peacock, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birds that I want to cut out today and get them pinned down onto the cushion, and then that way I can just stitch them down during the week. So it's going to be a little bit of a prep day. As if you've been around for a while, you know that this takes a lot of prep. And yeah, so but we are getting there. We are absolutely 100% getting there. Now let me just pull this out so you can see where we're at. There is a ton of color on this, and I have worked on it quite a bit in February, so you can see there we've got a ton of colour. So my birds have to go in. I've marked little crosses where they've got to go. I didn't mark a cross for the bottom bird, which is the what do you call it, peacock. I didn't mark that because I haven't got anything down here. So aside from all that up there that's happening, I also have a garden that's got to go down here. So we've got the peacock, which sits directly under this, and he is going to dictate where that wavy garden goes. And I believe, just from looking at the picture, there's a little bit of grass also down the bottom here. But we talked about, last time I worked on this, we talked about actually whether I wanted to turn this into a cushion or whether I wanted to turn it into a wall hanging. I'm still in two minds, but I got a little bit of feedback, and a lot of people did say that the a wall hanging would be absolutely lovely as opposed to a cushion, and I'm sort of starting to lean that way. I think this would make a beautiful addition to a door or something like that as a wall hanging. And yeah, so I'm thinking that I might end up doing that. So if I do that, I will end up putting some sort of autumnal fabric all the way around. I'm thinking some sort of leaf fabric, so I will have to hunt for that. So that may slow down the finishing of it, but I will end up long arming it and all that sort of stuff, doing micro stipple, make it nice and stiff and all of those things. So that is sort of the plan at the moment. But you know me, I swap and change my mind because, you know, finally the penny will drop and go, you know what, this is going to make an absolutely stunning cushion. But I am leaning towards the wall hanging. I also have another wall hanging by the same designer, which is the seasonal one in the garden, I think it's called, maybe. It's right up in front of me, and if I pull it down, I'm going to bump the camera. So, but we will see that on the channel in the near future. Basically, I want to get this finished, and then I'm just going to be working on that project. And basically, I will film it, and you will get to see it. That is a mammoth project. It is going to take me months to do that. So, but I am going to start cutting stuff out and getting everything ready, because I don't think I've got enough wool felt there. So I'm thinking that the next time there's a quilt show on in Brisbane, I need to go and see the supplier of this kit and get some wool felt off them, just for my own security, because there is so much in that one. But anyway, today we're here to do the Birdsville one. These are the birds that we're going to be cutting out today. So you can see here that they're all got their different shapes and everything like that. There is a lot of little bits and pieces that will have to go on. There's a lot of embroidery on these birds, and that's what brings them to life. So I'm really happy that I will just be cutting out the basic shapes, the wings, the bird, and then all the rest of it will come later. These smaller bits that get added onto the birds, I will take a look at my scrap fabric and go from there. I did find the other day, and I believe it's from another kit. I found a heap of scraps and everything, so I put them aside to go in my other kit, because I looked at the colours and they definitely look like the other one. But as you can see, there is a lot to these, but as I said, most of it is actually embroidery that's on it, apart from these little bits here. So they do have black eyes, I believe, so I'll be cutting a little bit of the black today. And yeah, so I'll just get that out, and then once I've got them cut out, I will pretty much just start stitching it down. I'll hang around with you for a little while, and you can see a little bit more progress. Everybody loves it when this one comes out. So, and I'm just looking for the peacock, because he's not on there. So here's the peacock here. So I'll probably cut him last. I'm going to get these ones done first, because we haven't even got down to there yet. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to close up this, and as you can see, I've still got some pins in. I think I've got like 4 leaves to go, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the flowers to go as well. But I just want to get these birds down. To know that I've got enough room, and then I can work out if I need a little bit more leafage on it as well, because you can see there's a little bit of space in a few places. Like there's a bird, and I think its tail hangs down here, but another leaf could go here. So there's a few more placements that I could do, and this bird here will take up most of this area, but there's a couple of spots where I can put a few extra leaves and everything. Now if you're new here, you can see that some of the leaves have embroidery on them. That's because I did them in hand, and I read the pattern wrong. So I'm positive that I read to do the leaves, stitch them in your hand. Okay, I would put my bottom dollar on that, but I don't know whether I've read it in another pattern, because I do so many things at once and I've just got confused. And anyway, I did all those ones in my hand, and it was quite difficult to do. I did get the hang of it in the end, and it was okay, but it was still a pain in the backside. So the plan going forward is to get everything down onto the cushion and then stitch it. And I'm going to see, I actually pulled it out the other day. I'm going to see if my scroll bar will fit this. So just bear with me for a second while I go grab that, and when we come, if it fits, I'm going to be so excited, because it means that it's going to make it super easy to do the embroidery, because I'll be able to use my tabletop cross stitch frame, and and also my couch frame as well, because my floor stand rather, sorry, because I've got that set up in the lounge room, so that, and the lights and everything are there, so it means that I'll be able to take that in and sit down in the comfy chair and do some embroidery. So bear with me for a second. I'm just going to go and grab the poles. Have your fingers and toes crossed to make sure that it's going to fit, and I'll be back in just a second. Oh no, it doesn't fit. So, but I might be able to go and see the woodworkers. These have been in storage and they're a bit dusty. But if I go and see the local woodworkers, I wonder if they'll be able to make it for me. Because I just need that channel in there. Like, I don't even actually need a channel, because I could just, the channel would work better on that. But yeah, maybe they might be able to make something wide for me. Like, it doesn't miss the mark by much. About, what's that, about 6 inches on that. What a bummer. Oh, I suppose I could make a Q-snap for it. Yeah, I could always go down to Bunnings and make a Q-snap. That might be easier, because the woodworking guys are hard to get hold of. I have to get to the markets to get hold of them. So I'm thinking maybe a Q-snap. We can play around with that. All right, let me set them up there out of the way. Okay, so that is what we've got going on here. So I'm just looking here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves to stitch down still. Everything else is stitched down except for these large flowers. So let's go and get the iron switched on, and I'm just going to pull this out to give me a little bit more bench space over here. Let's get tracing out these birds and get them down, and so we can start stitching. Alright, so the iron is now switched on and heading up. I just need to have my sheet of birds, which that is there. I've got my scissors, I've got my pencil, and I've got my freezer paper. Now, if you've never seen this done before, basically the freezer paper has a shiny side and it has a dull side. So I'm going to trace my birds onto the dull side, and then basically this will get stuck down onto the wool felt, so the wool felt doesn't melt, and this isn't super sticky. It just adheres to it, and it makes it easier for you to cut things out. And then you can cut it out and you get a perfect bird, round circle, leaf, all that sort of stuff. So if you haven't seen it before, this is a great little tip for wool felt. It's a lot easier than trying to trace it out, then pinning it down and trying to cut around it. Freezer paper is the way to go. So let me just grab, okay, I don't need the peacock just yet, so we'll set him aside. And as I said, we've got the birds here. And I'm just going to also grab my light pad. It's off to the side because it was a little bit hectic, and it's still got my well, maybe I might be able to not worry about the, let me just have a look. No, I don't need the light pad. I'll be able to use this. All right, that's easier because it's got my diamond painting on it, so it makes it a little bit tricky. Now, I try to save as much paper as I can, and you can use these several times, so don't throw them out. Put them aside in a little Ziploc bag or something along those lines, and then that way you can, if you want to make a little bird wall hanging or something like that, maybe do a scenery yourself, you can do that by using these again, because you get 2 or 3, sometimes even 4 goes out of it. Okay, so basically I am breaking down the bird. We have the birds all set out on this pattern so we can see how the placement goes. But when we're tracing them out, we're going to split them apart. So we have, so you can see there, there's a dotted line. So I'm going to trace that shape because that little bit there sits under that wing. So we trace that. And as I said, I try to really be frugal with my paper, but it doesn't, like, I keep all the scraps as well, because the simple fact is I can use them for the little bits and pieces of the garden that you can see along the bottom here. So you can see we've got the peacock, which sits right underneath that pink one, and then we've got this garden, which I will draw out with a chalk pen, and then basically I will stitch my line because that's embroidery, and then you can see there is all these little circles and everything. They're all little bits of wool felt, and then there's a lot of like French knots and stem stitch and all that sort of stuff, which will fill up the area. And then of course we've got some grass there, which I don't think it's actually grass, I think it's stems of these flowers here. I haven't done these yet either, and that's why I'm thinking that I'm actually going to run out of fabric, so I'm going to have to get some green wool felt. Now, if I can't get any joy from the people that this came from, then I'll hit up the wool felt lady out at Chinchilla. She's not too far from me, so it'll get to me a bit quicker. And see if she's got like I would probably, for grass, I would want like a sagey green. I'm thinking like maybe this green here. But if I don't have to cut any more leaves out of this, I should have enough of that to do some stems and everything like that. So, and they're all done freehand, so. And as I said, all of this actually has embroidery on it, and that's what dresses up these little birds. So, alright, that's that one. We've got a circle for the eye. And I'm just looking, the eyes are actually got white and black in them. Okay, let me show that eye. Oh, yep, so we've got a large circle. And then we've got a teeny little circle. Oh my god. That is tiny. Alright, let's move over to the next bird. And because each bird has an eye on it, I will only cut out those ones. Actually, I'll probably do a couple of sets, because then at least I can reuse those little bits of paper for the garden down the bottom. The birds are cute. You can see, I'll show you on this one in a second, the wing has a lot of circles on it. So I will probably wait to do all those circles until, so you can see there, they've got a lot of circles there. I will wait to do those circles until I've done all the big things, because I don't want to run out of the felt. This is my biggest concern, because sometimes we can get, as crafters, like, we try to be as frugal as possible, but sometimes we get really wasteful at the same time. So I do struggle a little bit making sure that we've got all the bits and pieces, and I do need to leave like a bit of a gap, because I don't want to cut right on the line. I just want to cut past it, and I know that that beak is really close, but there's still enough there that I'll be able to see the line. So yeah, so you do want to leave a little bit of a gap. And this is not a tutorial as such, this is just me sharing my project with you. Although Gail has the big project. I believe Gail's also got this project as well. So Gail's waiting until I'm done it and see all the mistakes that I make, and then that way it'll go smoothly for Gail. So I'm the guinea pig in this scenario. So yeah. I had a bit of a chuckle. I'm like, did you get that tip? Make sure you put them down. And that, so Gail is taking notes, and I thought that was very funny when she said that. I'm like, I'd be taking notes too, to be honest, because yeah. But now, like this, I think I talked about this last time. I actually had a massive roadblock, and it was because of those leaves, because I thought, this is just so fiddly. It's not something that I'm used to doing. I don't think I like it, and all these things. Like, these are all the things that played on my mind. But once I pulled it out this year and I really put a plan into place, I felt so much better about working on this. And now it actually has its own little spot, so it's in my face as well. So I'm just going to number these. Bird 1, bird 2, bird 3. Alright, so I'm just going to put 3 so I know which bird they go to. And this is bird 1. Alright, I'll put a circle on those, because then I'll know that they are the numbers. Alright, now bird 4, we should be able to squeeze in here, and then we can put wings in there. Or maybe we can do this bird here. There we go, that's better. A little bit more frugal there. Alright. Actually, I'll be back in a second. Alright, I just went and got my eraser, because I can fit that bird in there. So I'll just move it up a little bit, because I thought it was one piece, but it's actually just the tail is separate. So I'll just get that on. I'm not sure that you can actually see what I'm doing through the camera, but yeah, I'm just tracing. It's good that that these actually have all the embroidery marked on them as well, so you can see what you're going to be putting on there and to dress them up, because on the picture you can't really make it out, and there's no other picture. Like, it's all, there's nothing else. That's the only picture that you've got to go by. So yes, let me just mark this one as number 4, and then we can fit his wing in here. So yeah, so it's good that this, like, you're getting to see what's in the pattern. And that is the website. You can go and buy the pattern from there. It is an Australian designer. And I'm not 100% sure if they do ship internationally, but it doesn't hurt to go and have a look. So yeah, you might be able to find somewhere that does in your country if they don't. But I'm sure if you sent a message to the website, they'll be able to point you in the direction that sell it. So yeah, So there's always, it doesn't hurt to reach out and just ask. All right, so that's number 4. I think that's all I had to trace on that. And then we've got a bird number 5. So I'm just going to put the 5 on that. And I do suggest that you, when you're doing something like this, that you do mark it out so you don't get lost, because the wings are different on each bird, and the body shape is also different, and you want, you know, the right tail on it and all that sort of stuff as well. So this is a bird 5, and I think we'll have to put this birdie up here like this, and then that way he'll fit in, because this one, it is all one piece. So it's a bit bigger, this one. I don't know, there's something really therapeutic about tracing out shapes. I don't know. I find it very relaxing as well. So alright, so that is bird 5. Now I will trace out a couple of more eyes, because they're, as I said, I can reuse these. 3. They're all the same size. 4. The only one that was a different size by the looks of it, no, it's the same size. But yeah, where is it there? So they're the larger ones. I mean, really, I could just about trace these, like scoop these out myself. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because I already got one out. Alright, let me get my paper scissors and let me get this down to a more manageable size. Now, I do keep all of my little scraps. As I said, you can see that you can add these little circles in. So don't throw anything away. And that way you've got all the bits and pieces. So you can see here I've got a container where I put all my little bits and pieces. And you can see the leaves are still in there, and I've used those circles a couple of times as well. And I also have like all the little scraps that I keep as well, because I'll be able to get all those little circles out of there. And this just, it doesn't stay on, it just peels off. So you can see there that I can peel all that off, and that can go to the rubbish. And then I've got all this little bits of felt that I can get all those little circles out of and whatnot. So don't chuck anything away if you do a project like this. Get some containers. If you're here in Australia, I got these from Kmart, including the container that I store it in. It's in the scrapbook, like the scrapbooking section of Kmart. I'm sure if you went to like Howard's Storage World or somewhere like that, you'd be able to find prettier ones. But these were like $2.50. They're perfect for my craft room. They snap close. I'm not affiliated with them at all. Yeah, I know that they work well. If I can find them on their online store, I will leave the links down below for you, and then you can get hold of them. If not, I will put some links for Amazon for our American friends. I'm sure I'll be able to find something similar as well. So, and our European friends as well, not just our American friends, European friends as well. All right, so we have all that down. Now it's just a point of cutting this out and finding the different felts that I'm going to use. Now I am using the same colors that Wendy has used here. Wendy is the designer, so I'm going to want a burgundy, which is in here somewhere. There's that's it right there. So that's the dark burgundy. I'm also going to want some blue. I'm going to want some black and white. There is no purple, but we do have this blue here. I think will go nicely with that one. Actually, that's for the peacock. I might just set that aside. And then we've got the dark green for the peacock, and then we've got this blue on top. So what else have we got here? Alright, we've got this blue, and we're going to need some light. This is what I mean, like I don't have enough of the colors here, I don't think, but I could be wrong. We'll find out. So I'm going to need some of that. I'm also going to need some red, and I'm going to need some pink. That green can just go over there because that is far too bright. That is for grass, so I don't need that. Let me set that over there. We do have an orange bird as well, but we've only got one type of orange, so I'm going to put a bit of yellow on that, I think, or maybe I'll just, because there's a light orange and a dark orange, so that is weird, and I've only got the one colors, so I'm just going to have to play around with it, I guess. I guess I can do a dark and a light purple bird. I mean, it's a weird combination, but we can do it. I think I'm going to have enough. I can use a little bit of that and a little bit of that. I think I've got enough for that. The green's fine. That's fine. We've got the hot pink one. We've got the blue ones. There's 2 of those, 3 of those. So the orange is the only one that I'm a bit concerned about. So I wonder if I maybe do the body orange and the wing red. So it's this one here that I'm concerned about. I think that that's what I'm going to do. So they're the colors that I'm going to use for the birds. I'm going to put all those aside because I don't think I need those. But I'm going to endeavor to get what I can out of these. The black and the white is for the eyes. So we know that that is okay, so we can set that aside. We're going to have a purple bird at some stage as well, because I don't think I'm going to get 3 blue birds out. As much as I want to, I don't think I am. So I'm thinking that because we've got this blue bird here and we've got a blue bird there, I might make this one purple. But I will adorn it with blue. So that will bring the blue in it. So the embroidery will be in the blue colors that are on it. So, and there are some small circles on that one. I believe that is bird 2. Let me just have a look. It's bird 3. Yes, it's bird 3. So, yeah, it's got some, so I'll be able to put some blue on there, which I can probably put some of the lighter blue on, and that'll adorn it a bit, and that will go with the purples. So you can see I can either take it from this one. I'll just play it by ear basically. So let me bring that over. The purple one will be the one that I'll cut last. So because I've never done anything like this, I'm really trying to just take inspiration from the designer. I mean, this is her design, she knows what she wants, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to take inspiration from that. All right, let me get these all cut out. So let me go bird 1, and we'll cut all that out, and we'll then get that onto the wool felt. So I'm going to do it in stages, because I don't want to muck it up. Does that make sense? And of course I'm getting as close as I can to the bird without going on the line, so I've got something to cut with, like when I cut the shape out. It just gives me a little bit more accuracy. All right, so that's bird 1. Get that. Again, this is very cathartic. I'm just going to put the eyes with the black and white. I don't know, there's just something about cutting out bits of paper and creating things. Right, let me just sit that there. And all the eyes, I'm just going to quickly cut that out. And sit that over with the black and white. There we go. All right, so we now have them all cut out. We have our picture, and so now I need to make sure that I've got the right coloring for everything. So I need some pink, and I need some dark red, and that is for bird 4. So I want the dark red, and I want to check that I can get bird 1 out of this dark red as well. So I should be able to, because their bodies are dark red, I should be able to get them both in. So let me just go this way, and they're both going to fit on there. So I can bring that down a bit, and I can bring that, because it doesn't matter if the paper overlaps a little bit, as long as they're both on there. So they're fine. All right, let me get that up onto the ironing pad. Move that over to there. And then I'll just press that down. The shiny side goes down onto the wool felt. And there we go. It's now stuck down, ready to cut out. Okay, so we set that there. All right, so next for bird 4, we need the tail and the wing. So I'm going to try and get it in here. And I can just cut that little bit off. Move that over there. Right, let me just get this wing down here. That on, and then we'll get our little tail on. Alright, that's that. And you can see now why I've marked each one, because they'd get very confused. Alright, so the next one I'm going to do is this orange one, which looks to be, where is my sheet? That's not my sheet, it's over here. Which is bird 2. So we want, I think I'm going to do the wing in that color. So let me grab bird 2, and I'm going to place it down here. Get that pressed down. And then we want the red. Okay, all right, that's pink and pink for bird 4. So we've done bird 4, let's done that, and we've just done bird 2, so we can tick that off, pop that down there. All right, now we have bird 1, we've got the body, we need the wings, and bird 1 has dark wings and it has a dark body. So I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do this red for the red and tail, because it looks dark and that will go together. So I think it was like an even darker brown, so like a brownish red. It possibly could even be that whole bird was maroon, but I'm going to have to do that because there wasn't enough maroon at all. So I'm just going to get these on. So I'm sort of, you know, just improvising where I need to. Preferably, I would like to not buy any more wool felt for this project. You know, ideally, I'd love to use it. Like even the flowers down the bottom look like they're very dark as well. So, all right. So that is bird 1 is done. Bird 2 is done. Bird 4 is done. I'll just put a tick beside them. All right, so now we have 3 and 5, and now these are out of the blue, and that's where I'm a little bit scared because there is not much in the way of blue. Now, one of them I definitely can do because it's out of this one, and the wings are out of the light blue. And then we have a bird out of the light blue, but we also have our peacock's body out of this blue as well. So maybe I should trace the peacock's body. Let me just have a look. it'll be, let me just get a ruler and measure that out. It is, if I do it 1.5 by 2 1/4, I will have enough for its body. So let me just have a look. Let me just, what did I say? 1.5 by 2 1/4. That is enough for his body. So let me just see if I can get this bird on here, and I can. All right, so we definitely have enough as long as I pull that bird down to this end. So let me just see if I can't squeeze it in down here. I think that is going to work beautifully. All right, so I can get that bird down, which is bird 5. And then he can have a paler wing. Alright, so that is bird 5 done. And now we just have bird 3 to work with, which is all blue. So we have the top wing will fit in here for that. Look at us go getting it all down, because there's more of this blue. There's that blue for the body on the peacock, and then there's this blue for the bits that go on its and then there's this green. So these 3 are going together with that one, and then that blue goes on top of this green. So yeah, I think that will work fine. And then I've got a whole heap of, then I've still got enough left to do flowers and all that sort of stuff. So we didn't have to worry about the purple. So I can incorporate a few purple flowers, which will be fantastic. And we still have like a lot of that little stuff to go. All right, so this birdie is going to go up here. Get his little beak in there. And of course then I've got all this leftover felt for the rest of the garden, because remember we've still got 2, 3, 6 large flowers to do, and then we've just got a ton in orange, purple and all that sort of stuff, but I can incorporate some light purple and stuff in there as well. All right, let me just go around this way, and that's going to give us enough to do it all. All right, look at us go being all frugal today. All right, we've got all those. I can set that aside. Of course, we've still got the eyes and everything to do, but I'm probably not going to get them done today. But I will just leave them in my little container and know that they're there, and then I can sit them over there. All right, now let's grab my scissors and just cut around these to get them started. Alright, I'm just going to move my little ironing pad out of the way because I can see myself burning myself. So let me just put some stuff away. They're going to look super pretty once they're all got all the embroidery and everything on it. And I think that's a really good plan that we've come up today. So doing the Q-snap, and then I can just basically make the Q-snap, and I can, like, you can roll, like, move the fabric up then and just put a piece of felt down so it protects all the embroidery and all that sort of stuff. But you know, I may end up using a hoop, or I might end up getting hold of those woodworkers and getting them to make me something. So we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. All right, now I don't need my paper scissors anymore, so I can get rid of those. And let's get these pieces cut out. And remember, we're holding on to all our little pieces because we'll be able to cut out little circles and everything out of those. So let me just get can put the paper one away now, because I will end up putting the bits and pieces into that once we're finished. But let me get my scrap bin open, and we can move that out of the way now, and we'll get all our little bits down. now what we're going to do is we're going to do the placement of these. So let me just get the tree out. Alright, so remember at the beginning of the video I said that I had put little X's of where they've got to go, and I did that so I knew not to put leaves there. And I did it with lead pencil, but it'll rub out really well. And you can see here that we've got 2, 4, 5 birds, not including this one. We haven't cut this one out because I'll worry about that when I get down the bottom. And the reason that, as I said, the reason I'm placing them is so I can know if I've got to add some more leaves to this. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. All right, let's start with, oh, excuse me. Let's start with a bird one. And I'll just get my pieces of paper out again, so because you can actually tell which is the birds better from this than the cover. All right, so, excuse me. All right, let me just grab a drink. It's thirsty work, this. Thirsty work. Excuse me. All right, so we have bird number 1. Okay, so where does bird number 1 go? Bird number 1 goes over here, and its tail sort of goes, yeah, it sort of fits in there, and its tail sort of comes around it, but there wasn't enough fabric, like the width wise, so I've got to be very mindful where this goes. So I'm actually going to bring that sort of on an angle like this, and then see where the wings are going to sit. So we have one wing that sits under here like so, and then we have the other wing that sits like that, and you can see that that is too far over. So what I'm going to have to do is bring this bird in a bit, and let me just get this lead pencil off. It should rub off. Alright, so we're going to just bring it on this side of the and we've got this goes under a little bit there, and then this wing comes and sits like that. Now that's got a little bit of extra bit on it that it doesn't need, so let me just get that off. Right, that will work a bit better now. And then that's just going to sit like that, and it still gives me 1/4 inch because I need to have at least 1/4 inch so I can sew a border on it. Okay, so that's that one. The next one we're going to place is bird 5. It's going to sit here. It actually it crosses both the branches, and then its wing, it's just got to come down just a touch, and then its wing just sits like that, which also just touches the branch as well. So yeah. Alright, let me just bring this down a little bit further, down into here, because I can move this down a touch. And the other thing that I didn't read right either was that the birds should have been placed first on that. So yeah, so it's a learning process, you know. It's hard because I do stuff on camera, and I started this on camera, and you're trying to keep everything flowing really well, and sometimes you mess up. So I messed up and should have placed the birds first. Had I placed the birds first, then, you know, this would have been shorter, and yeah, but anyway, I'm happy with how it's looking. I'm not upset in the least by that. All right, we have a bird that sits here. That sits right there. That little beak is a little bit weird looking, so let me trim that up and make that into a little bit more of a point. That's better. And that, so we have bird 3 here. Sits in there, that just sits on there, and then we have, oh, there's the other wing, and then we have the 2 wings. So one sits there above that leaf, and that one sits on top of that. Okay, so that's that one. All right, bird number 4 is this one over here, and it sits about there, and it has a wing on top of it. So it has a wing there, and then it has the tail, which we can bring that in just a touch, and the tail just drapes over that. There we go. Now that also needs a little bit of a, oh no, that's all decoration on it. Okay, that makes sense. So it's done with blue felt. There's blue circles on that. And then we have, finally, we have our little orange bird all the way out here, all on its lonesome with its little red wing, and then the birds are going to go on there. So they are now all in place. I can now take the paper off and pin them into place. Now, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but my neighbours have just started up with their music, which means that recording for me has just pretty much come to an end. But we have spent a considerable amount of time together today. So basically all we're going to do now is take off the paper, and we're going to pin everything into place, and then during the week I will endeavour to get this all stitched down. And so you'll need to make sure that you come and check in and see what I'm getting up to. And yeah, so I won't be putting any embroidery down. I'm just going to basically whip stitch them down, and then that way we will be able to get them all down before we put the embroidery. So let me just get everything into the right spot. Okay, so we have the tail is sort of weirdly placed, but anyway, it is there. That's where it's going. And then we have the wing on top, and then we put a whole heap of blue embroidery and stuff on it, and that will make it pop. So I'm just going to pin these in place, and then that way I know that they're not going to move. We've got new neighbours and they have no respect. They just play their music all hours of the day and night, so I've got to sort of work my way around them. So hopefully I can get rid of, sometimes I can get rid of the noise out of the video, other times I can't. That's so. Alright, now let me just pop this down like this, and then pop this one on there. Goes like that, comes down a little bit, there we go, sits about there. Of course, you know, I will get these in place and everything, and then I'll place the, I'll play around with the placement again when it comes time to stitching them down. But for now, we have them where they need to be, and it's looking so good. What do you reckon? I know there's been a few of you have been like waiting so long for this to get done, but as I said earlier, I just had that roadblock for some reason. You know, the leaves really put me off wanting to do it. I just wasn't feeling it. But now I'm getting it all done. I think this is the only one that's in the correct spot. I haven't had to play around with it. Note to anybody out there that's doing this: make sure you do the do the birds first. It is so much easier if you do. So yeah, because then you can work the leaves around. But there'll be like there's a spot here where I can put either another flower or something along those lines, which I probably will because this is quite an open space. So I'll put another a flower there, probably just a little one like this one here. I'll put in there as opposed to putting some leaves. I can put some leaves here. So this is really giving me an idea of where I need to put stuff. So yeah, so that's why I sort of wanted to get to this today. And I don't think I'm going to get any stitching down on it today because I've already been working on it for quite some time. Of course, you've got the condensed version of it. So yeah, because you know I've sped things up and all that sort of stuff. So in the editing process, I love this little orange one. It's going to look so cute. And I think we made the right choice there, most definitely, with that wing. I think that is a really good choice. And that's got a heap of embroidery on it as well. When it comes time to it, it'll get really dressed up. It's got some little circles on it, and it's also got French knots that are down around the bottom. So I think it's going to look absolutely fantastic once it's all done. And this is supposed to cross over a couple of branches. This is the one that is giving me the most problems. So, but I'm just going to have it crossing. It was supposed to go down this side, but there's just not enough room. And there was never enough fabric because I don't even know how to, I've done the measurements and everything, how they've done it. And you can see it's spread right out and it goes right over, but I think this branch, even I probably could have brought it in a little bit, but I think it might have looked a little weird. It wouldn't have given it that nice shape to it. So this is looking like it will end up having to have a piece of fabric put on it. Now I possibly could add the piece of fabric that I want to, but I don't have the autumnal fabric. So I'm just going to move it in. You know, I could have left this bird off till last, put on that border, then added in the bird onto that, but I think the bird might have got lost in that fabric, so I'm just going to leave it as that. I'll end up putting a border on this, and it is looking more and more every day like it's going to become a wall hanging. So for those that suggested it, either way it's going to look stunning, but you know, it's yeah, it's sort of lending itself to be a wall hanging right now. This wing is a bit of a weird spot, so I'm going to pin it into place, and then I can put the rest around it because it goes under both the wing and the bird. So we've got to put the bird down next, and it goes sort of like that. Probably, let's have a look. Yeah, that beak is the right length. I thought it might have been a little bit too long, but it's fine. We can have it going onto a leaf. We can probably come up a little bit. Maybe if I do that, come up a little bit towards that leaf. So really, I could probably put it there, but again, that wing's going to come out, so I've sort of got to place it here. I can move this leaf though, because that is not stitched down yet. So let me move that leaf. Oh, it's started to be stitched down, so let me just move it up a little bit, and then they'll give me a little bit more room, and I can just get this around here, and then we can bring this wing up like so, and then that is going to then just drape near that, and it's just going to go above that, which looks a little bit better. And then this wing, it just goes like this on there. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if the tail's going over the okay, so this wing comes in a little bit more and a little bit down, and it's about there. About there. Right. How's that look, do you reckon? That looks alright, I think. I think I'm happy with that. Of course, you know, as I said, when it comes time to stitching it down, the birds down, I will play around and adjust and everything like that. But I think that's looking good. I'm pretty happy with that. Let me get these pins back in before they end up on the floor. And then that way I can put them away, put the cork back in those. Alright, so we can see from that layout that I do need to, like I can add a couple of leaves in here. I think I might actually add a flower there. I think that will be fine. Maybe a couple of leaves off here. We can add some more there. And that'll fill that spot in a bit. But I think that's about it. Maybe one here. There's just a couple of spots where I could just put a couple of little leaves. So that's not too bad. And I do have, like, I've got a couple of green ones here as well. So I've got a dark green one. So I can put that one in there, like so. If I wanted to, actually, I'll probably put that there. I think that will look a bit better there. And I'll get a pin and pop that in. So there'll be just a couple of little spots that I'll need to fill in, and then I think it'll be fine after that. So yeah. Alright. There we go. So yeah, so I've got a couple of little leaves still to put in, and I've still got some green ones, so I can put one of these down here and get that in, and I can get a couple more in there as well. So I'll probably put some more dark green in there and a little bit of this bright green, get some of that in there, because there's a lot of bright green over here, but there's not much over here. So I think some of the stuff that'll go in here will be that flower will fill that spot really well, but I'll get a couple of pale greens in here, maybe put one down here, and that'll just fill it in and just balance that color out a bit, because just looking at that I can see that there is that light green, there's not enough on this side. So I can, you know, I might have to unpick a couple, like I put one here and that'll bring that in, and then maybe put one down near the leaf, like a little flower here, but then put a little green leaf and maybe even get one in here. And I think that that's just going to balance it out a little bit more. I could probably put one up in there. So yeah, there's a couple of places where I can get a few of those green ones there. But I think we've had a very productive day. Let me just put all these in. I'm really happy with the progress that we've got. We're kicking goals now that we've got that little roadblock gone, and we've got a plan in place. So, and I do thank everybody that listens to me waffle on, because sometimes you just need to talk these plans out, you know, especially when you've not done something like this before and you haven't seen anybody do it. Excuse me, haven't seen it in person and all that sort of stuff. So I'm really happy now that we've got the birds on. We are getting, I think that is just about it. Like, there's a couple of little circles that I have to cut out for the eyes, and then there's a couple of circles that I have to cut out for each of the birds. But I think once they're all down, those circles will probably get done as I'm doing the embroidery, because a lot of them have embroidery on them, so they've got long and short stitch or French knots on them and stuff like that. So there's going to be a lot going on with this for a little while yet. Once I get started on the fly stitch, it doesn't take long to do that. And once it's in a like a hoop or a frame or whatever the case may be, it'll move a lot quicker. So yeah, I am really happy with how that looks. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments down below of the placement and the colors that I picked today, what you thought of them. This blue one here is a blue, it is not actually, it's a red one that's supposed to be there. So I'm thinking that I might actually swap this color out, because I think that there's just too much blue here. So I think what I might do is take this little one and pop that there, and I think that that will break it up a little bit, and then I can pop this one here. I might be able to just bring that down a bit. I don't know, we'll play around with it. I actually like that red one there, so I'm just going to leave that there. So I might be able to, I don't know, bring another yellow one in here, because we've only got one yellow, or even just cut this down a little bit, like maybe put a pink in here. No, but then we've got a pink there. I think it needs a red, to be honest. So if I can get a red circle and get that in there, I think that'll be okay. I mean, the size is okay, but I just think that there's too much blue there. So yeah, I think that I need to play with that. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments if I should change that or just leave it as it is. It could be that I'm overthinking it, and I'd appreciate your help with that. So do let me know in the comments. But that is it for today's vlog for well, it's slow stitching Saturday, but for our daily vlog. I hope that you've enjoyed your time here today, and you may have learnt something from seeing me do this. But I'm super excited. We're getting so close to doing all the embroidery. The garden down the bottom actually scares me a bit, because there is a lot down there. That's going to take me a hot minute. And I don't get to work on this every day, so because I've got other stuff that I'm trying to work through as well, so I'm trying to rotate through my whips and get stuff. But this one is getting a lot of love at the moment, because we've now got a plan in place. But as I said, that is it for me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Now, before you go, make sure you hit that like button. Leave me a comment down below. If you're not feeling chatty, just leave me a little tree emoji down below, so I know you've made it this far. And if you have been lurking in the background and you haven't decided whether you want to subscribe or not, because my analytics tell me 60% of you that watch are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn it to all notifications, and then that way you're not going to miss out on any updates of this. I'm going to be putting some stitches into this week, so you will definitely get to see an update on what's happening with it during the week. As I said, that is it from me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.